Hey guys, I thought I'd do a video. I've been to a lot of coffee shops lately where one of the big menu items that they have there are the guacamole on toast. And a lot of these cafes will charge $6, $7 for guacamole on toast. And it's pretty expensive and something that's pretty easy to do. This probably takes about 5 minutes or so. There's some prep that needs to go into it, but really no more than 10 minutes to get, I think, a really, really good breakfast. So here's everything that you need. You'll need one avocado, a little bit of onion. This is kind of like just a little bit off the corner of the red onion. Lime. So I generally say about a third of a lime for every avocado. A fistful of cilantro. Some salt and pepper. You can put that in later if you don't have it ready. And then also your toast, that's toasted up, a couple napkins, a bowl, fork, spoon, a good knife for cutting, and a cheese grater because we have our Parmesan cheese here, and that's kind of the secret. Okay, let's get started then. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut the avocado. Remember this little thing here because this always falls off after you cut the avocado, so just keep track of where it is when you cut it. So just cut it in half like this. Oh, and it fell off right there, so I'm just going to remove it and put it over here. Sometimes this is easy to take out. This one is because it's perfectly ripe, but this is one of the reasons I keep a napkin on hand so that I can remove it easily without it getting all messy. Set that off to the side. And then this is just something I like to do. It kind of helps when you're mushing up the avocado, is just kind of cut it into strips. So I'm going to do that on both sides here. Carefully your hands too. All right, next, take your bowl, take your spoon, and you're just going to spoon out the avocado right into the big bowl here. Okay, I'll do both sides. Okay, so I'm going to put the spoon off to the side just for a minute because the next part, take your fork. Oops, I'm getting a little messy here. That's why I have another napkin. And we're just going to mush up the avocado. It's easier when it's ripe, ready to go, but if it's not, my suggestion is to try to bring it up to the edge of the bowl like I'm doing here, and it makes it a little bit easier to mush up. But if your avocado is ready to go, then this shouldn't take very much time at all. This has taken me maybe a minute, the most. And I kind of like my guacamole a little bit on the chunkier side, so I won't go to as much trouble to get it really smooth. But if you're a person that likes really smooth guacamole, then you might want to take a little bit more time to mush it up. But for me, this is fine, okay? All right, I'm going to put this over here for a second. Next step, I'm going to add the red onion. So I already have this kind of ready to go. But what I'm going to do now is just I'm going to chop it up a little bit more. Because you want this relatively finely chopped. Nothing too crazy though. Okay. So that ends up being maybe a little over a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons of red onion. So we're going to go back over here to the guacamole. Just going to put all that red onion right in there. Okay. Next, we have the lime. Now in this case, this is about a half a lime, so I'm going to try to make this a little bit smaller because I'm going to conserve some of my lime. I'm going to take the lime, I'm just going to squeeze it in. Now the thing about this lime, if you want to conserve your lime, you don't have to use a third of a lime in your guacamole. The key part, for me at least, when I'm making this, is that the pulp. You can see the pulp has probably the most flavor in the lime. So even if you don't have enough juice to juice into it, if you get enough of the pulp in there, you're going to get a lot of flavor out of it, regardless of how much juice you get from the lime. Okay, so that's probably good for me. Next. Next we're going to go in with the cilantro. So, I've already washed this. Remember to wash it off because there can get some grit and some dirt in there, some sand. I'm just going to chop it roughly. Don't need anything too fine unless you like the texture really smoothly ground up. But for my purposes, this should do the trick. So I'm going to take my bowl again, put all that great cilantro in there. And this is, I like a lot of cilantro, but if you like it sparingly, then I wouldn't use a fistful of cilantro. I'd use something more like maybe a couple fingers worth and grab from the stem. Okay, next we have my salt and pepper. All right, and that's ready to go. I've already kind of ground that up. Put that in. Next, I didn't actually bring this over because I kind of forgot about it until now, but the next thing I'd recommend is some olive oil. So I have some olive oil here. I'm going to just drizzle a little bit in. That's probably a couple tablespoons at the most. Okay. Come back with your spoon, and now you're just going to mix it up. It's good to mix this for, I don't know, 20 seconds or so, because you want the juice from the lime, and especially the salt and the pepper, the salt especially, you want it to really get mixed in nicely. Okay? So that is good to go. And you can see everything's mixed in really well. Next up, we've got our toast. So I'm just going to put it on the board here so it's a little easier to see. Take a spoon and just start putting it on your toast. And this is one avocado, and one avocado generally is good for 2 pieces of toast. Depending on how hungry you are, this could feed 1 or 2 people. I'm pretty hungry. I just went to the gym, so this is probably a perfect amount of food for breakfast for me. All right. Still got a lot in here, so you can really make sure you don't waste it. There's plenty of good stuff in here that you can sop up with some more bread later if you have it. Okay. All right. Put that back on the plate. Now here's the secret, my secret at least. Part that makes it really good, I think, is a little bit of Parmesan cheese. So I have some Parmesan, Parmesan Reggiano actually, and I'm just going to grate some over the top. A little dusting. All right, and that's it. And there you have a really good alternative to what you get in a pretty expensive cafe, avocado toast with a little bit of Parmesan. And this really only took about 5 minutes, so definitely recommend you give it a shot. If you like this, please like the video or leave a comment if you want to see something else. Otherwise, hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you next time.